Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Ketron Event. Something slightly different this time than the GNOS, and thank you to the team at Scan Computers in Bolton who have sent me down this instrument to show you and to talk about. And for those of you who have a good memory, you'll remember that this appeared in my room 1 year ago. And it didn't get a favourable review. There were a few things wrong with it, a few bugs. And with it being a relatively new instrument, it's sort of gone through its settling down phase. However, there are still a little few things that I really don't like about this keyboard, and I'll mention those towards the end of the video. However, there are also now some very nice things I like about this keyboard. And I'm going to simply sit down and go through some of the things that I've found and show you the points that I think make this instrument really quite enjoyable to play. Apart from anything, the styles are very, very, very different to anything else I've seen or heard. This is one of the styles that I'm sort of fiddling with at the moment, which is in one of the disco categories. Doesn't sound anything too exciting at the moment. However, the things that you will notice are these sort of real instruments that this keyboard, you've got things like real bass, real harmonica, real guitar, things that make it sound the way it does. And in some cases, they are absolutely fantastic, but in some others, there is a delay in the change of your chord, which becomes incredibly noticeable if you start playing a lot of chord changes. But for the majority of the music that you do, you wouldn't really notice it. So I'm not going to pick too many bones out of that one. But the one thing that I do like is the guitar and the bass. The basses are just stunning. So we have this sort of nice funky guitar, and then we bring in the chord, and then we can bring in the bass, and then we bring in the drum kit. Now if we go to variation B, that's when it sort of starts to pick up. So when you're doing things like those sort of fast bassline changes, that, because I always play with the finger on bass, or in this case it's called lowest, which means whatever I play with my left hand, my furthest little finger away will play the bass line. So whatever my finger is playing there will be the note that the bass uses. So sometimes, depending on the style, it's a bit laggy, but 99% of the time it's not too much of an issue, as I say. So I started to think, well, this is quite a nice disco sort of, and again you have this sort of nice break bridge on variation C. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, why don't we try and do something disco-y? So I went in, and I'll show you in a moment how, because this is another really powerful, very, very powerful thing with this keyboard, is the fact you can layer 3 voices. So you can have a tubular bell, a string, a brass, and then make that, just name it as one voice. So you can technically, because you've got 2 voices here to choose from, you can actually have up to 6 sounds playing at the same time, and that really is quite. And you can also have 3 voices on your left hand, which is gets even bigger. So I think I can safely say, apart from the Verzi, which, hey, let's not cover that ground. Apart from that, this instrument is the next down in terms of power, because the GNOS only allows you to have 1 voice on the left and 3 sounds on the right, and you can't mix 3 sounds to make 1 voice. So this blows the competition away in that respect. So credit to Ketron for that. I will give them, 10 out of 10 for that idea, and it is definitely a good one. So I was thinking, well, hang on, if I want a disco sound, if I go into user voice and go into synth, I should have this disco chorus. So if I simply hold my finger on the voice, it then lets me, as you can see on the screen, choose my 3 voices, adjust the volume. So I've got this sort of La fantasy. Let's just turn the other 2 voices off. The rolling D50, isn't it? No 2 guesses on that one. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I can even shift it, add more reverb. Then the second voice, I've got Charang. I don't know why that's on there. So let's pick a different voice. I'm in the synth category. So I'm playing I Want Your Love. So I need a voice that's wonder what Wahoo is. Actually, that's not too bad. Let's go with Wow. Turn the volume down. And then we need the tubular bell, which is already on there. Remember the old disco tubular bells that were used all the time? Let's turn that down a little bit. Right, okay, we like that. So I simply press save, and it asks me where I want to save it. I'm saving it in synth, and I'm calling it disco chorus. So if I click save, yes, replace. So now I've got the sound that uses 3 voices, and it's only using one of my voice slots. So it's already starting to sound big. However, I can actually bring in some strings or whatever else. I've got 3 voices for the lower. And if I go into view and modeling on the control here, this shows me the voices that I've got in that lower section set in the style. So I've got ensemble. There's the ensemble. I can adjust the volume if I wish. I can then, if I want to, I've already got the classic grand on, but if I want to put a bigger pad, however, I'm going to go into the vocal and pick the one of the vocal sounds in here. I think it's singers are. I mean, they really are. Got la, ah, do. Ooh, synth voice, that's quite nice. Mix that with the string. Bring all the drum parts in. Now, that, to me, that is just absolutely fabulous. And I can save that as my user style, which means when I call it up, it will pull up all of those settings that I've just saved. So if I click save to user, save as, I'll just call it disco. And then enter. Right, so now I've put 2 C's in it, but never mind. I've got disco with 2 C's. And it's remembered my voices that I set as part of that style. Now, the intriguing thing with this is if I go back into view and modeling, and go to setting, I can go to drums, and here, because it's the real drum isn't actually, this is a MIDI style, this is not using the real drum, I can add as well a disco real drum. So it really beefs up. I can have a tambourine. And the key is to find the one that you like. That adds a clap to the style, Eric Clapton. So there we have it. We've now got a nice beefy style. And of course then you can go and play the melody, or you've even got a separate drawbar. So if I go to drawbar view on the panel here, the screen, as you can see, changes to drawbars, and I can adjust. So if I want to make it all cheesy and add an organ, I can do that. There's different settings for the organs, as with most generic sort of style arrangers and all that. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to have a quick glass of water. There we are. It's better. Right, I'm back. Okay, so as you will have seen, this isn't just a case of sit down, press cha-cha, press piano, and away I go. To get the most out of this keyboard, there is a lot of setup. But when you do, now you're probably sitting there thinking, hang on, these buttons are moving and he's not doing anything. Well, the control for the style change is actually being done by pressure on the keyboard. So if I press hard, it goes to the variation in a loop, which is actually really quite handy. Anyway, let's not stick with this because there's so much more. What I do want to do is show you is one of my favourite departments in here in terms of voices, and that's the brass, because you can achieve some really, really nice stuff. Come out to there. Let's go down to brass or brass or. Okay, so we got this nice. And then you've got this sort of nice grow brass, which, as it says in the name, grows. And the remarkable thing is, they work so well with the styles. In fact, let me just simply go back to where I was with that user style that I made for the I Want Your Love. Where did I put it? It's there. There we go. The brass is really, really well done. It's like somebody's thought, hang on, this needs this style of brass to work with this style. And the voices blend nicely with the styles. Going back into our brass section. Nice soft tones. And if I go into the ballad section of this lovely instrument, where are we? Just trying to remember what style I was going to use. Let's try new ballad. Nope. Nope. There we go. That's a nice style. Well, let's try that one. Now that is using the, let me just show you. So this is the bass. Then you've got the chord. So there's a nice sort of strumming guitar in there. And the drum. So you've got the sort of finger click. If I want to add a string to there, let's go to voice 2. And on the screen, I just simply tap, go to the strings. I have to look closely. It's getting used to seeing where things are because I'm so used to the Genos. But we have got, in fact, there's a lovely Stradivarius. But that wasn't the voice I was looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. No, the voice I'm looking for is a nice sort of movie string. That's a lovely sound. So again, if you want to sort of play sort of film scores, you've got lots of stuff in the strings section too. I'm going to go on through to another page and then we end up on choir. But we have got, I think it's the first 3 pages for string. This keyboard definitely has a good string section. Without question, they are very, very good. Slightly bit nasally for me, the symphony. We've even got spiccato. You could use that for the disco stuff without question. And then going through, as I said to you, we do end up in the land of, well, we've got violins here. Ball strings. Kill the cat. Let's have a look what else we got. We got octa strings. These are your big sort of pad sounds. Movie strings, which is obviously what we've been on. Now they are really, really nice. And then we are into the land of our girls. Now, I've got to say, these actually are more what I would class as genuine sounding choirs than other keyboards, including the don't tell anybody. But even including the Genos, they do sound more real as opposed to instead of that do and R. We've got Girl 2. Gospel. So anyway, we're going off on a tangent here. So I was looking through the strings, and through the brass. So let's go back to the brass section because there are some there's some voices that aren't. Put that back off. Take that off. Put that back on. And the trumpets. you get the drift when I'm saying it's not as easy to control. I wish Ketron would sit up and go, hang on a minute, what are they listening? We need buttons for right 1, right 2. Oh, not actually. You need buttons for right 1, right 2, where you can just quickly press it and then just go straight immediately to a sound bank, say strings, that, and then you can change quickly. It's a bit slower. The process of playing live, you do have to set more stuff up on this. And again, the same with the left, because there's no left button. So if I wanted to change the sound of my left held note, I'd have to go into view and modeling, go to lower, and then choose the sound that I want, which is in this case strings. So we go into strings, ensemble. Now I've got strings. Is it me or does this sound very James Last? I can go into the effects if I do want to, and I can increase the reverb. And there are other brass sounds in here that sound very Last-esque. You got that sort of thing. You got the muted. And then if I scroll through trumpet 4, they are very I say they're very James Last. So if you like that sort of stuff, this is going to be definitely a box ticker. And let's find a nice, slightly different style here. Let's go and look, see if we can find a new. That's nice. Just skipping through here. Before anybody asks, I'm just making this up. This isn't anything in particular. Every time I play a melody, somebody will message saying, I love this tune at this. What is it? I'm just making it up. So with that, I would want to go into my style. This is what I'm saying to you. You do need to spend a bit of time setting things up. But once you've done it. So now I've got those nice strings on my left hand. So actually I'm thinking, well, maybe I want to have those brass magic horns, and they really are magic. It's a magic. So if I go into the magic horns and hold my finger down, it's a combination of something called magic horns and trumpets hard. I bet it is. Now I wonder what would happen if I wanted to add a mandolin to that. I think it's an ethnic. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, we got. The bouzouki tremolo is quite nice, and I can't say as I know what a bouzouki is if I fell over it, because you're always thinking of. They really have got some instruments in here that you wouldn't generally every day sort of come across. That. Oh, hang on, Turkish string. Nope. Just looking through here, they have got some. Let's go with that bouzouki. Right, so come out of there, and then I'm going to adjust the volume of the bouzouki. I'm going to see about moving that bouzouki up an octave. Now, the nice thing with this, I've got 3 voices playing, and I can go in and adjust the reverb on that horn. My bouzouki is too loud. Now, I'm always thinking, my brain would save that at this point. So let me do this save. I'm going to save this into brass. I'm going to save it into my user slot 1. So I've got nothing in there. So click save and just leave it as magic horns. And then on my voice 2, I'm going to go and say, okay, I want some strings. Those strings. There we go. But I want those movie strings that I found. Where are they? Where are they? Am I missing something? No. They're not there, not there. Ah, there they go. Now, if I turn the 2 voices on, one hell of a sound, and all I'm using technically is 2 voices because I've made this voice, which is my sort of James Last sound now. And I'm using this really nice, beautiful and just go strings. Do you know, I think this is one of the nicest. I think this is some of the nicest strings I've come across in a keyboard. And you know what I'm like in terms of my search for the perfect set of strings. First violin. Anyway, I'm ending up having more fun just doing this myself. The idea was to show you some of the stuff, and I'm hoping I've shown you some of the really nice content in this keyboard. I've got to say, my view of this since the update, and it's not crashed, it's not done anything silly, it's not tried to eat my cat. It's been very well behaved. Good keyboard. My view of this is very much changed in so much that it still is not the easiest to play live. Not in terms of changing things. I mean, you just saw while I was playing, I could go from the first violin to the movie strings. I would love it if this was easier to use, because this has so much potential in terms of what it could be as opposed to what it currently is. So would I get one of these now? Yes, I would. I would buy this, but I would only buy it on the understanding that I'm not going to sit down and play live like I can with my Genos. My Genos, I can sit down, hit a button, and within seconds I can change the voice. I'm still not keen on this layout of the screen, which has changed with the update. They've made it easier to get to the voices. However, it's still not. It's not as quick to do, and I think that's maybe because there's so much on the screen. Because you've got all these things for sort of fill and break, so I can do a. I tell you what it does do though, once you've actually got a setting for a sound like this, I would actually happily sit here now for another hour, 2 hours, and just play. But those strings are really beautiful. Let's just go back to the first page. We've got this ensemble, which is the one I've always been using. Then we've got Symphony. It's like somebody suddenly put a sock over the speaker. That needs more brightness. Then we got this incredible Stradivarius. And then I can go in to another string, but not. Another belting sound. Bodes. Does bode well, doesn't it? Ha ha ha. They are stunning. Right, Ketron, I think I've just found your... Nah. Oh, God, there's some more. Go back to my ballad. Oh, another James Last. Yep. I'm not going to say what it is. Harp's a little bit muffled. Chivago. There's the sound that I wanted. It's a bit too loud for my liking, but there you go. Jazz violin. Ball strings. Yeah, we've done that one. Octa string. What's on the next page? Octa string 2. Plucked. I have been. Piano and orchestra. No, I'm sorry, that takes some bidding. Our movie strings. This is yeah, I'm lost for words because I think when I looked at it previously, and I'm being honest, the I think the functionality and the issues that I had with it sort of overshadowed everything else because the sounds in it are actually, there's organs, and unlike the Genos, the Leslie seems to be much better. Sounds much more real. Oh dear. Right, let's move into another division. We've done brass. Let's have a look at pads. Now, I'm sorry, but most Arranger keyboards don't really. Too old. I always wonder why Arrangers have such old-fashioned sounds when it comes to synth side of things. There's lots of big sort of sounds. Anybody who's got VSTs or uses VSTs for recording, you will find some of the most phenomenally powerful pads out there. And yet you come to a keyboard and it's like, sorry, that wasn't the cat. They're wimpish. There's nothing of depth and sort of balls is the word I want to say. It's okay. Again, voicey. That's a big one. We'll just go to pianist mode at the moment. Stop that. Inspire, is it? Nope. It doesn't inspire. Choir pads do. Yeah, so it's the same. That's a really good one. I like that. Tenderly. So yeah, there's quite a few mariachi. How have we ended up with that? I don't know. Obviously they're looking to fill with something, but yeah. So the synth's okay. It's nothing to write home about. I do want to have a look just before I finish for a drink. I just want to have a look through some of the guitars and show you what the guitars sound like, because that is one of the fortes of the Genos. The Genos guitars are absolutely just mind-blowingly good. Okay, let's get past that. Oh, I'm putting velocity on the keys. Okay. Oh dear. Ooh. That's okay. That's pretty good. Country steel. Okay. 12 strings. It's a shame it hasn't got a nice vibrato trem. See what twang's doing. Okay, there's a lot. Hawaiian? Sounds like a regular guitar. Oh dear, I must turn that off. Rock lead 2. That's nice. There are some good guitars, and the electrics are certainly pop chock. Do you think somebody misheard when they were naming that one? Oh dear. Banjo and guitar. Telecaster. Pedal steel. Oh. Oh. What happened to the pedal steel? It's not there. Anybody know why? Here we go. This is where the problems start to appear. Country picked. Nice. Just out of interest, if I put some nice reverb on there. Bit of chorus. That's nice. Oh. That's a funny sounding. Hey, I think we found the voice category with the oddities in. That's the most beautiful sounding guitar I've ever come across. Called the grand piano. I'll have to look at this. There's something not right. Have I done something? What's going on here? Hang on a minute. It's changed. That's why it's changed. Why has it done that? It's changed the category. Ah dear. Right, let's go back and see if we can find that. Country picked. Is the pedal still there? No, pedal steel is definitely not there. And it's on, it's turned up. So there you go, we've just found the second bug. So there you go. If you're watching Ketron, you've got a problem in your guitar department. I'm just going to skim through these now. I've grown bored. Right, okay. So why, how, oh dear, go back to pedal steel. Yeah, no, absolutely nothing. Do I have to play it in a certain way? Or? No, it's just doesn't work. So yeah, so this is where I'm sort of saying to you, if you're going to buy one of these, don't think that this is you, because this isn't you. This is something that the keyboard is just not doing. I do remember sometime long ago reading on a forum that if a voice doesn't load, that you press something and it should reset it. But I can't remember what. So there you go. In fact, is it that sequence? No, it's not now. Anyway, if you're watching this and you are a Ketron owner and you're shouting at the screen, "Yeah, idiot, you've done it the wrong way," do let me know. Any help would be appreciated to try and get my pedal still working, because it's one of the voices that I do actually use quite a bit of. But there you go. So anyway, on that down note, I'm going to sign off at this point because we have been rambling for just nearly an hour. But I have taken you through quite a bit of this keyboard, and I'm going to tell you this, and I honestly think, my view, please don't think I'm trying to flog you something, because I'm not. This is not a sales video, and they never are. I'm showing you what will happen when you get this home yourself. So the first thing you need to bear in mind, don't use the headphone port on the back. I've been told by the people from Ketron, don't use the headphone port on the back because it sounds terrible. Use buy yourself a little mixer. So you're talking maximum of another £100. So whenever you buy one of these, I would sort of speak to the dealer and say, look, can you get me a little mixer that has EQ control? So what you do is you plug the two audio outs in the back into the mixer, and then plug your speakers, your headphone, whatever you're doing, into that mixer, and it gives you a much better sound. I'm not excusing it because, to be brutally honest, that should never happen. If you've got a keyboard, it should sound as good out the headphone socket as it does out of the audio outs, but it doesn't. So before you throw out the baby with the bathwater, make sure that you check that you are not using the headphone. If you are, switch over to the main outputs, but you do have to have a little mixer, and there's loads for sale on eBay. You really won't be disappointed, trust me. So there you go. Overall, I'm going to upgrade my previous rating of this keyboard from 2, I think it was, to I'm going to give it a 7, because there is still scope for improvement. But I'm also now just thinking on it, I'm going to move it up to an 8. And why? For those strings, because those strings are absolutely they are. They are absolutely beautiful, and used with some of these nice ballad styles, and not used just as a filler. The ballad section is and what I'm going to do in the next video, and I will be making a few of these videos just to sort of, as I'm finding these things out, I want to share them with you. That's the idea. So that, because I know a lot of these videos that you see online, it's like, here's a tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do, and you sit there thinking, oh my God, well, what do I do now? So I want to show you real life examples of what I've come across that you would also come across. And then that way you're learning basically with me. So I'll make all the mistakes, and then I'll show you how to do it correctly. I've probably made mistakes today, to be honest, but as I say, this is the first real sort of deep dig down into this. The thing that's impressed me so far is the fact I have 3 voices for my left. I've not seen any other keyboard do that other than the big W Verzi, and basically that, yeah, I wouldn't go near that with a barge pole. The right hand, you can have 6 voices, which is hellishly clever and very, very nice, because you can create your own combinations of 3 sounds, which I give credit, massive credit to Ketron for coming up with that, because that is a really very nice, powerful tool to create your own settings. However, the big downside, unfortunately, is that you can't just sort of jump on here with a piece of music and sort of say, right, I've got this most beautiful arrangement. It's got strings coming in here. You've got to sit and spend some time to do that. And even to the level of changing the lower voices. If anybody knows any reason why they should not be joined in marriage, no. If anybody knows how you can change the lower setting quickly, please write in, send it on a postcard or do whatever, drop me an email. But I'm just intrigued. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't really looked, but the arranger section here is telling me what the volume levels are doing for here, which I think that's just stupid. Why would I need to know that when I can just see them here? That is waste of screen space. So arranger, so that could go. And the same with the right. The sliders are here. Do I really need to have on display what's right in front of me? Give me some credit, please. So there you go. Anyway, I'm not going to drivel on anymore, and I know people are going to write, oh, he's been rambling again, but I want to talk to you seriously, because like I said to you, the number of keyboards that I've bought in the past watching videos and I've been sold to, in a way that I got the home keyboard back and I think, oh God, well, this is not what it was advertised as. So I'd prefer to show you all the stuff, the pain you're going to go through, and that is the biggest one, the headphone socket. The Ketron, you need to seriously look at how the sound of your headphone amplifier sounds compared to the digital out on the back of the keyboard, because 99% of people will put headphones in the back of this. So that really does suck. But however, when you do plug into the back of the main keyboard, it sounds amazing. There's the strings. I'm going to keep saying the strings. I think I found my my string perfect instrument. Where are they? The movie ones. The movie ones are the ones that I've gone too far. Where is it? Movie. All strings. Disco. Jazz. Oh, come on. Wonder if you can favourite. Movie strings. There they were. I went past them. Beautiful. Right, if you haven't subscribed and you've watched this all the way through, then you must be mad. So do click subscribe, click the bell, because that means when I post another video, you'll get notified of when it's appeared. There's no cost, there's no charge. I'm not going to send you a bill for watching, honestly, I promise. However, if you do want to leave a tip, you can do, I believe. But for those of you who aren't subscribers, please do subscribe. Helps the channel to be seen. I don't know. Everybody says that, but I have no idea how. And I'll catch you later. Have a great rest of the day, or whatever time of day you're watching this. And I hope to see you at the next video. Look after yourselves, guys. Take care. Oh, and thank you to Scan Computers for providing this wonderful instrument. It's very, very kind of you. A big thank you to Adam, who's overseen this. And if you are thinking of looking at a Ketron, take a look at Scan Computers. Just do a Google, you'll find them. Huge, huge company. They sell everything, so you can buy. In fact, you can even get the little mixer for it from them. I'll see you later. Have a great afternoon. Bye bye.